Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I recently played through New Super Lucky's Tale for the first time, and I have some thoughts and notes I took to share with you. I'll be keeping spoilers to a minimum, and I'm only going to be showing you gameplay from the first 2 or 3 hours. So it's a 3D platformer and a collectathon. You've got coins, gems, clovers, pages, all sorts of things that you can collect. And I found just by playing through it casually, like not trying that hard, I was able to get enough of them that I wasn't forced to go back and replay any levels to get some things that I missed. There's actually a big reason why you might want to get the coins, and that's because there's a character called Giovanni who's going to sell you costumes that you can unlock by getting these collectibles, so there is some motivation to it. And speaking of the costumes, I wasn't even expecting that, but it's just a nice feature to be able to customize your character. It changes nothing about the game except aesthetics, but yeah, I really like that, and I think it's fun for completionists. The game does a good job of giving you different styles of challenges. So you've got your 3D platforming that you might expect, you've got some little puzzle realms, you've got some side-scrolling, and some other different views. It's nice to kind of just break up the monotony of doing the same thing over and over, and the hub of each world lets you pick which level you want to go to. So if you, for some reason, hate 3D platforming, but you like puzzles and the 2D side-scrolling, you can do those first in whatever order you want to. At the start of the game, the puzzles were really easy. Like the first couple of them, I was starting to get worried it would just be really easy the whole time. But as I kept going, chose to do the puzzles one after another once I got to a new world and do them all at once. And I noticed the difficulty did start to step up pretty quickly on to a point where it was challenging and I had to think about it, do some trial and error. And I appreciated that. It wasn't just easy puzzles the whole way through. In terms of the difficulty of the platforming, 3D and 2D, I wasn't really challenged much the whole time. But I will say that the controls made it fun to go through the worlds anyway. You get tons and tons of lives. I had like 40 lives by the end of the game. Didn't die a lot, but the levels were still fun to travel through, even if it wasn't much of a challenge. Like there's nowhere that you're gonna get stuck and give up and have to look up like, how do I beat this level? It's pretty straightforward. You can figure it out pretty easily. The challenge would be maybe some of the collectibles and how to actually reach them. If you want to get 100%, that's more of a challenge than just beating a level. The exception to that, like the low difficulty, I would say is the last boss. I got to the end of the game with about 40 lives, and the last boss was like a huge difficulty spike. I was okay with it, you know, like Dark Souls bosses and that kind of thing, but I definitely had to try maybe 20 times to actually beat this thing. It was a shock in comparison to the difficulty or lack of difficulty of the rest of the game. It's probably a good situation where if you're playing and somebody's watching, to pass the controller back and forth so you can take turns. It's that kind of challenge. There's also some post-game content, which I won't tell you too much about to avoid spoilers, but I will say I really enjoyed the last section of the game. It's got some like different gauntlets and challenges and things that you can do that focus on your skills and mastering them, which seemed a little bit out of place, I should say, for the end of the game. It's the kind of thing that if they had introduced it gradually, it would have made more sense to me. Like with the burrow mechanic, you're constantly moving forward, so part of the challenge is not bumping into something that's going to pop you out of the ground and expose you to danger. And there's also some that focus on combat. The combat's really simple, but it feels good when you can chain together some attacks and create some combos. You can kind of get into a flow state if there's enough enemies to just keep digging, burrowing, popping up, hitting them, jumping, doing flying attacks. The only problem with that is I didn't feel like there were really enough enemies through most of the game to fully enjoy how good the movement and combat actually feels. I wish there were more opportunities to experience the combat rather than at the end. So one thing that I noticed that I didn't expect to take notes on is how the ladder mechanics feel. They feel really good in this game, like way better than I expected, maybe better than any other ladder mechanics I've noticed in any other games. Like you can just walk up to it, jump onto it, jump off of it. It's really smooth. The movement's really quick, so you're not just sitting there waiting while your character climbs the ladder. It felt really good, and I just thought I had to make a mention of that. It's a nice detail. It feels like they put a lot of attention into the ladder and like all the movement really. I looked into the difference between New Super Lucky's Tale and just Super Lucky's Tale, which was like the first version of this game that came out. And from what I'm understanding, they basically remade the game from the ground up, so it's not really a remaster. Like they changed a lot of things. And when I looked at people's reviews online and complaints about Super Lucky's Tale, it looks like they fixed pretty much everything. When I played New Super Lucky's Tale, I didn't notice any of that. So I heard movement, the camera especially was really bad, I guess. I like the camera, had no problems with it, so it seems like they did a good job. So yeah, that's about all for my thoughts on it. Overall, I had a good time playing it. It looks good, it feels good, gameplay and everything is nice. There's enough content that I was satisfied, enough variety that I wasn't bored. The main things that stick out to me personally was it was a little bit too easy, except for suddenly at the end it got difficult. It could have been a little more consistent, and I think if they had beefed up the first half of the game with more enemies, it would have been a little more challenging and given you more opportunity to use your different moves and get more comfortable with the character and explore the depth of what that type of movement allows you to do. I'm interested to know if you played Super Lucky's Tale or New Super Lucky's Tale. What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments. Hope you enjoyed the review. Hit like and subscribe. I appreciate it. And thanks for watching.